Hey guys. So I had this dream last night and I really wanted to bring it through because I felt the lesson was like totally universal and something I'd want to share. So I'm in this remote place in the wilderness, and all of a sudden out of the bush comes, and out of the forest comes this Black Panther. And first it's just staring at me, it's looking at me like it wants to like attack me or something, and then it comes to attack me. And as it's about to attack me, I wake up. And I woke up so confused because I don't usually have dreams like that. Like once in a while I have a dream where like something's chasing me or something and I just like run away from it. But that was like, even that, it's been years since I've had dreams like that. I don't have like war dreams or dreams where I die. Like, I don't know. It's just like not usual for me. So anyways, I woke up and I was like, what the hell was that about? You know, because I know there's always some underlining meaning to our dreams, right? So it was like 5 when I woke up, and the gym didn't open till 7. So I was like, all right, I'm going to lay here and try to rest at least until the gym opens, which is where I'm at right now. And so when I lay down, I was just doing some breathing exercises. Like, I don't meditate super traditionally where I'm just like, sitting in Indian style and just like, I connect with spirit in my own way. And I feel like everybody does. So when you try to do the one size fits all thing when it comes to meditation or your own connection with your higher self, it's not going to work until you figure out your own thing. But anyway, so I was laying in bed just doing some breathing exercises, and I let myself drift into like that in between where you're kind of like daydreaming, but you're not into a full sleep yet. And I was bringing in a vision. I even asked spirit before I laid down. I was like, ask spirit to bring me clarity about what the dream meant. So I lay down, all of a sudden I'm back in the dream, but I wasn't fully in a full-fledged dream. I was in a vision because I was still awake. And what happened was, all of a sudden the panther starts coming at me again. And just as it gets to the point where it's going to touch me, it like dissipates. And I was like, and then all of a sudden spirit was like, the panther, the Black Panther, represents fear, and that the fear in itself is an illusion. It's a simulation. This whole thing is just a simulation, and we'll never know that it's a simulation and that fear and everything is all an illusion until we stand up to it. And like in the dream, I was just standing there. I wasn't running. I was like not afraid of it. And it was like almost like the metaphor that it was trying to say is like, if you stand up for yourself, if you stand up for your freedom, your rights, all of that, you'll realize all that fear, all those things that you were worrying about, it was just an illusion, because true freedom is that sovereignty that you stand in. And it was just like this huge epiphany, like, this whole time, like, everybody's running around afraid, not realizing that fear doesn't even exist. They create that fear with their own imagination. So it's like this big loop of them running away from the panther, which represents fear. And they'll never know that panther's not even real until they stand up to that fear, allow that panther to get close enough to them to realize it just dissipates when it touches you. And like, that's what, when I asked for clarity, that's what spirit gave me. And I was like, yo, that makes so much sense. Like, so much sense, because once you face your fears, you realize like the only thing on the other side of that fear is like all those things that you desire, that higher vibrational life and just like beingness. Like, it's crazy because people are like, they talk about like heaven and hell, but what they don't realize is like those metaphors that they use in scripture, not just in like Christianity, but all the ancient texts, those metaphors meant something, and it wasn't literal. It was very metaphorical. And so heaven is a vibrational state. Hell is a vibrational state. A lot of people are already in hell. Most people are already in low vibrational frequencies, living in hell right now, because they're continuously in that cycle, in that loop, running away from their fears instead of just facing their fears, letting those fears touch them, realizing that it's just an illusion. All you have to do is stand up for those fears and really face, like, not be afraid of change, face those challenges, like look at all those things that you desire and you imagine that you could want to be, and actually go do and be those things, because there's nothing to be afraid of. You're just afraid of getting out of your comfort zone. You're afraid of like not clinging to your safety net. What is the safety net? All your freaking programming, your relationships, your job, your everything. All the programming is your safety net, and that's the thing that you're clinging onto. That's the attachment. It's just like the last video I made. You have to release and detox all these attachments you have in order to create that space to bring in higher vibrational frequencies. In order to raise your frequency, you have to let go of all the dense attachments. You have to be sitting there with nothing and choosing happiness. You have to be able to say, I can let go of every material thing I have, every relationship I have, every single thing, and still choose happiness. That is where the empowerment is. That is where sovereignty is. That is where just standing in your knowingness that you're an infinite being just living this temporary experience in this human avatar. And that it's all a game in order to infinitely expand and grow. That's all we're here to do. But we can't do that if we're just in this continuous loop and cycle, running away from the panther, which just represents fear. And you're running away from it because you think it's so big and scary, but really it doesn't. It's just a simulation. It's just going to disintegrate. And you're going to raise into higher vibrational frequencies because you're going to come into that realization and knowingness that you are sovereign. Death doesn't even exist. That panther, a real life panther, could attack you and it doesn't fucking matter, because you're just going to go to the way station and decide where you're going to incarnate next in order to continue to infinitely expand and grow. And your fears will the more you understand, you sink into an understanding of how this universe works, the more your fears will dissipate. The more you will step into this knowingness and this sovereignty, and the more life will become like, you'll become a walking miracle, like Spirit gave me in that other transmission I did a few weeks ago. You literally will, and life will seem magical, and time will start to trip you out. I think that that's one thing I talk to Lance about the most. Like, yo, I'm still not able to grasp the concept that last year felt like it was yesterday and it felt like it was 10 years ago at the same time. And I don't know. I don't even know how to describe the whole time thing. Once you raise your vibration, you'll understand what I'm saying. It's just like saying, like, to somebody who's never tasted those, like, vibrations of true love and connection with somebody, but they think that we all thought we did. We all have been, like, thinking we known what love is, but you really don't know. And I still, like, even in my own relationship and realizing, like, your capacity to love just continues to expand, and you'll feel bliss states, and then you'll feel even higher bliss states and higher bliss states as you choose to raise your vibration and let go of dense things. So you're actually capable of loving to that capacity, but you have to love yourself to that capacity first. And it's like, we're so programmed to look externally for love and validation that we aren't trained to love ourselves. So we literally are, like, in this society, trained to just be, like, very zombie-ish, very told what to do and how to be and who to be, to the point where we don't even know how to love ourselves. We don't even know how to, like, truly operate in this society, because it's so artificial. And I was listening, there's this guy I listen to on YouTube. He's a little harsh, but his name on there is the Sacred Serpent. He comes off really rash, but he's very deep and he knows his shit and he does his research. But anyways, he used this analogy the other day in one of his videos, and I was like, yes, like, I totally resonate with this, because it's like, look at it in this way. Think about the whales at fucking SeaWorld in their little tanks, living in their artificial environment, and how they, like, get to the point where they're so sick they live like a fraction of what their life is. That is exactly what humans are in our society. Walking on concrete all day, being in buildings, completely disconnected from nature, and then we're expected to thrive, to be able to think to our highest capacity, to be able to love to our highest capacity, when all we are is disconnected from what our true nature is, from nature itself, Gaia. Like we are so disconnected. We live in an artificial environment, and then we think that we know everything. What you know is according to the environment that you live in and that you were raised in. We are products of our environment. Until we start to unlearn that and realize that, like, things like going to college and all that is not where it's at. You're actually being programmed even more in college. I know. I got a couple degrees. I get it. I've been there. I've been completely indoctrinated. And then had to freaking learn my way out of it, discover, like, dig my way out of it. And it's just so hard to, like, be awake in a society that is so asleep, because they look at you like you're crazy, but you don't care, because when you're awake, you don't care what people think about you, because your source of love and acceptance and validation comes from within. So you can be... Hey guys, just got done at the gym, and I just cut my video off before I went in there because I started getting heated about the jab, and I don't particularly want to go off on crazy rants because I'm passionate about something, and I'm worried about people that I care about because of the decisions they're making, and this is where it comes full circle. They're coming from a space of fear. It comes full circle in terms of my dream and the messenger of the Black Panther. It comes full fucking circle. Like, why would you make a decision for yourself just accepting what somebody is telling you, a doctor, whoever the fuck it is, the TV screen, that literally is a decision based on fear. I might lose my job if I don't get this. I might not be able to go on vacation. You're fearful that you're going to lose some type of freedom that you never fucking had to begin with. Or I'm fearful I'm going to get a disease with a 99% survival rate. The odds of you, like, being harmed are way greater if you get the actual jab than if you didn't and you caught fucking COVID to begin with. And this is like where the basic logic doesn't come into play. You're just feeding into groupthink. And you're doing it because you're afraid of something. And that's what that Black Panther represented. It's that fear that nobody wants to fucking face. So I'm just going to go ahead and do it. Everybody else is doing it, so I feel good about the fact that I'm doing it because other people are doing it, so it makes me feel better. No, you're not actually feeling better. You're sitting in a space of fear. That's all it is fear. I don't even know if I'm going to add this at the end of my video, but I just want to say, like, the reason I get so passionate is because I'm here to help raise the collective consciousness. And my job, and everybody's fucking job, is to raise their frequency. And if you think putting an mRNA vaccine, it's not a vaccine. They haven't even isolated the virus. You have to isolate a fucking virus to get a vaccine. But if you think that putting that into you and putting that into children and altering your fucking DNA is getting away from an artificial timeline and into an organic, high vibrational timeline and raising your vibration, you're wrong. And it's hard for me, like, this isn't the channeling side of Kelsey. This is the side of Kelsey that is a human being interacting with the energies in this matrix that's coming in here on mission to help raise awareness. And we all are here to raise our vibration. And so to sit here and be mute because I want to be neutral and just, from a higher perspective, just accept everybody for where they are at. There's still my human side of me that is like also here on mission to say, wake the fuck up. Like, remember, we were all fucking wiped of our memories. Remember who the fuck you are. You are not anything that you were taught to be in this artificial environment that we live in. This is a fucking simulation. And once you start activating your DNA and tapping in to your abilities to see and realize that and to have that connection to your higher self, you will see. But you can't do that if you're injecting yourself with a drug that hasn't even had tests. We are the tests. Anybody who consents to this is consent to artificial low vibrational energy. That is consent. You're giving consent to low. These are everything is energy. So if you're wondering, do demons exist? Do low vibrational entities exist? Yes, that's your programming. That's your low vibrational choices. That is what a demon is. That is what the entities are, and they're fucking attached to you. And they got a hold of you, and your ego and your groupthink and your programming will convince you that you are just standing in your ultimate truth. And it's the truth of where you are at vibrationally in that moment. But the truth, the higher, most optimal, what is of the highest good of you, that you have to dig deeper for. That you have to stop making decisions from a programmed place. That's your ego. You make decisions based off of your programming, that's ego. You have to, all the answers are inside of you, and everybody's truth is different. But you know by the way it makes you feel if it's something that's high vibe, if it's something that's going to raise your frequency. That is what we are here to do. That's what expansion and growth is. It's raising your vibrational frequency through shedding old, low, dense energies and creating space for new, higher vibrational frequencies. And when we do that, we impact everything because we are connected to everything. That is what we are here to do. So to be mute, I cut out the end of that video, but I just stopped the video. But I was like, no, I do want to say something about it. I don't want to be mute this whole time to avoid confrontation and triggering people. I'm here to trigger people. I'm here to say, hey, look at your fucking programming in your shadow. And check yourself before your vibration wrecks you. Because what you put out is what you get back. And if you make a decision out of fear, well, you're going to get a vibrational match to fear. And if you think that the outcome of that is going to be some high vibe, amazing thing, like, woo, I get to go on vacation. I don't think so. You might be laid up and not be able to go on vacation. This is not a joke. We are in World War fucking 3, and most people are completely unconscious of it. They just know the world's a mess, and they'll do anything to get back to their comfort zone. But guess what? That going back to normal doesn't exist. There is no normal. This is all a fucking simulation, and it's artificial. And wake the fuck up out of the dream in the matrix that you're living in, because it's like, it's going to be this continuous cycle of reaching externally for something to validate you. Your job, your relationship, your work, whatever the fuck it is. The gym. You could be addicted to the gym, food, whatever it is, whatever your outlet is, to distract yourself from having to live in this fucking slave-like society. And you don't have to. Coming out of that isn't mean you never live amongst people. It means you raise your vibration. So whatever you experience is a high vibrational experience. No matter where you're at. Even if you're still sitting in a job you don't care for, you can create a high vibrational experience still being there. But that's for a whole nother video. And I might add this to the end. I don't know. But yeah. At least I got it off my chest whether I share it or not. I love you guys.